I'm so bummed. This is my final video. I'm really gonna miss making these vlog videos. Um, so I guess I'll start with the internship assignment that you gave us a little while ago. So there was a woman. Her name is Sarah Levine. She is a nurse practitioner with Stanford Hospital. And I just went to my mom's work just to meet up with her for lunch, and she met Sarah, and she introduced me. And Sarah, she said, she volunteered to speak with me for about an hour, and I thought that was really nice of her. And she's a total stranger; she didn't even know me, but she knows that I'm trying to follow her footsteps. So she gave me a lot of pointers, and she told me that the EMT job is the way to go. It's a great path, and when I apply to nursing programs, I think she says that I'll get in, or I'll have a higher chance of getting in because it's great for patient contact. Um, but I'm just really excited after I spoke with her, and she also manages a clinic in Half Moon Bay. It's called Rhoda Care, and she told me that there's a lot of students, like PA students, nurse practitioner students, nursing students even, and CNAs and MAs, anyone you can think of. They're all at the clinic and they volunteer, and they're also in a program as well or as an internship. And so they're still completing their school. And she told me it'd be really great for me to get in there and I can just, network myself and talk to everybody. And I'm really excited for it because there's people there that are going through the same thing I am, or maybe they're just a little bit higher up in the process already. But I mean, how cool is that? I get to talk to people that are doing what I want to do. So I'll get a lot of secrets, a lot of tips, and a lot of advice. So I emailed her just the other day and I told her that I'm already started at East Bay and I have my associate degrees. So she says that I can come on over and volunteer and get started there. And I think that'd be really great too for my resume. But I'm just really excited. And she says I can do anything from like translating and like um, transferring documents and helping patients and even taking vital signs. So I'll get my hands on people. Um, Sorry, I get really excited about that, and I can't wait to start. But I feel like I'm gonna be really busy. Um, I've had a lot of downtime lately, and I feel like I'm really gonna miss it because I'm gonna do this and um, a whole bunch of other things. But hey, I'm getting started in my career. I've been wanting this, and it's finally coming. And also, I have a job. So I applied with United Ambulance 2 days ago, and they called me yesterday at like 7:30 in the morning, and they called me in for an interview the same day. I was a nervous wreck. Like, I'm just gonna put that out there. I was just really nervous, and so I went into my interview at around 12, and I got the job. So I will be starting with United. It's in Foster City, so I'll be starting as BLS, as an EMT in BLS. BLS is basic life support. ALS is advanced life support. So usually with BLS, you'll find it'll be two EMTs together. So we can still do some interventions and things like that and CPR um, and administer some kind of some specific medications, but we won't be taking emergency calls. BLS is mostly not emergency and interfacility transport. So we'll be transporting patients who are already stabilized from a hospital or paramedics, and we take them to another facility that they need to go to. Um, and a lot of times we take patients to appointments, so like dialysis patients or psychiatric patients. Um, I really want to start in ALS. It's advanced life support. Those are the 911 calls. Those are like the overturned vehicles on the freeway and like the heart attacks that are happening. Like, okay, yeah, I don't wish heart attacks upon people, but those are the really good calls and like the juicy calls. Those are like the exciting ones. Not to say BLS isn't exciting. I'm still going to get experience that I need. Um, I feel that I'm just being impatient because I'm really excited. On my ride-alongs I went on, that was an ALS ambulance. So we were getting, a call came in on the dispatch. It was what was it? A shooting fight going on in East Palo Alto, and a man was struck in the back of the head with a bullet. And oh my God, when that call came in, I was like, let's take that one. Someone else took it, but that was exciting. And he was still conscious, by the way. He was shot in the back of the head, and he was still like alive and talking to EMS. Um, but those are the calls I'd like to get, and like highway accidents, things like that. Anything super important. Those are called Code 3 calls. Code 3 is lights and sirens. So that's when you hear the full effect of the ambulance coming down the road. That's Code 3. Code 1 and 2, there really shouldn't be Code 2. But Code 1 is just kind of BLS, like the non-emergency calls. It's not life-threatening. You don't have to rush over. Um, but I need to be patient because um, I haven't done this before, and I need to start out with sort of the easier things to get a feel for it, get a routine going, and like really like stack up my skills with patients. And then I can go to ALS, and I'll be a rock star because I'll already have experience with BLS stuff. But I really wanted ALS, but um, I'll do BLS for a little while and get the hang of it first. So I'm really happy I got the job. Um, that's exciting. And I start on Tuesday. Woohoo. 8-hour shift though. Not so funny. So that's that. And I'll be volunteering with Rotacare. So that'll be pretty cool. I feel like I'll get some really good experience this year. Like that's probably my main goal is experience and getting my feet in there. Um, so next I'll go to what I would do over again. There's a lot of things I would do over. So like on the first day of school, I noticed there was like welcome teams and there's the booths on the walkway. What's the walkway called? It's right in front of the bookstore. And I'm so mad at myself because I didn't stop by any of the booths. I walked right through them. Like I was just looking at the map and like being really focused on getting to class on time and getting into the right classroom. That I didn't even like stop to think of like, oh, that's a nice club, or oh, maybe I'll join that, or grab a booklet or something, or a brochure. Like I'm so mad that I did that. Um, but I just came in really headstrong and focused. Like I'm gonna get my classes. I'm gonna get my textbooks. I'm gonna know where I'm going and get settled in. I'm not gonna get distracted with other things. And I'm glad I was like that, but it didn't help me socially or get, used to my campus because it's like I'm just waking up, going to like finding a parking spot and going to class and then leaving. And that's not fun. Like, yeah, you're a great student, but it's not fun. And I missed out. I could have been in like a couple of groups or clubs, and maybe I would have found other clinics or something that I could have volunteered at or something. Or maybe I could have found other students that are trying to be nurse practitioners too. I don't know. But I was just really focused on um, getting my classes and not, like the social part of college. So I missed out, definitely. I should have. So this quarter, when there's welcome week, I will be at every booth. I'm going to walk by every booth and see what they have to offer and join. I'm going to make a goal, at least join 2 clubs. Like, I need to. It's my college. I can't just be, like, waking up, going to class, and going home. No. So that's what you've taught me, Professor Yang and Tanya, to be more active on campus and be okay with it. Don't be shy and, just be a book nerd. Um, so that's what I wish I did, on week 1, getting to know everything on campus. And another thing is I know I had the orientation tour, but I still don't know my whole campus. Like I still don't know what's on that side of the campus. Like I stop at the stairwell and I don't go past it. So I'm definitely gonna do that this next quarter. I'm gonna take a nice long walk around the whole campus and like go in each building and like see what's inside just to know, because I don't like knowing that I only go to these 2 buildings at school and I don't go over there. I don't know what's on that side of campus. And I feel like the longer you wait to do something, the less likely it's going to happen. So the longer I wait to join a club, the less likely it's going to happen. Um, and it took me forever to realize there's a Starbucks on campus. I didn't know there was a Starbucks on campus. So like week 3, I think, I realized there's Starbucks, and I'm like, where's everybody getting Starbucks cups from? So yeah, I mean that could have been going to Starbucks, doing homework there. So week 3, I finally started, and after class, I would just go there, get a coffee, and I would do my homework there. Like, why just go home and just shut myself out from the world and do my homework. Why not just sit down at Starbucks? And I actually met a friend there. I never even knew her before, and we sat next to each other. And I think we're taking the same class next quarter. So hey, like I made a new friend just by going to Starbucks. So um, that's definitely my goal for next quarter. Um, and then I was looking at friends. So I did make some good friends, but they were in my class already to begin with, and that's how we became friends. But some people in my classes were just not social. I would sit next to somebody and introduce myself, and they looked like they didn't want anything to do with me. So, I mean, I know you said to try and be a name and a face instead of a net ID, but some people just aren't social. So it kind of like lowers my mood down to be social. So sometimes after that, I would go to class and I wouldn't even like try to be social because it's like I gave up. Like I tried talking to that person, they don't want to talk to me. Okay, I mean, maybe some people are really focused, but I'm like, you could say hello or like, hey, do you want to work on this project? Nope. So, and another thing, I feel like wherever you sit on the first day of class determines like who you're going to talk to. I know everyone kind of changes that around, but if you notice, like the third or fourth week of school, everyone's sort of sitting in the same spot. So if you chose to sit to the left and you sat next to like three people, those three people might be your future friends. But if you really don't sit next to anybody on the first few weeks of class, you're not going to sit next to anybody the rest of the semester or quarter, and you're not going to be social. So I think for myself, when I um, start my winter quarter classes, I'm going to like scan the room and sit next to somebody. Don't sit in the very very front where no one else is. Don't sit towards the very very back where no one else is either. I'm going to try and sit where there's a lot of people so that over like the weeks I can turn to this person, talk to them, and I'll know someone on this side. Um, I like to sit towards the front because I pay attention, but like everyone kind of sits back, so I'm like by myself. Um, so there's a few things I'm going to work on. Um, yeah, and I think another thing I should do is like trying not to create such a routine for myself. I think that whenever I create a routine, I like to stick to it and I get really comfortable. And when I'm really comfortable, it's hard for me to change that routine. Like I said, I'll look at change as like something that's threatening. I won't accept it. So instead of, coming to class, doing my homework, going home, and then doing the same thing over again, I'll try and do things differently. Like after one class on Monday, I'll go to the library and, socialize with people there and do some homework there. Then the next day, I'll go to Starbucks. The next day, I'll go to the bookstore or something. Like just don't like shut myself out so much. Um, and you asked what tools were most beneficial um, that school has to offer, and I didn't even know I would use it. But the SCA Center. I'm not a good writer, but I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'll ever make an appointment with somebody and talk to them. I know, bad. But with the other issue I had with the other student who didn't respond back in editing my paper, I asked my professor if it was okay if I can just submit my paper to the SCA Center, and she said that was fine. And I did, and I got some really good feedback. I got an A on the paper. So thank you, SCA Center. Um, I didn't ever think I was going to use it, but now I am because I used it already, and I'll definitely use it again. And I think that's probably it. But there's probably more things I'll work on. I'll probably figure those out later. But you asked what would our year look like, and I think this winter quarter I'm going to be taking classes Tuesdays and Thursdays from noon till about 10 o'clock. So those will be kind of long days for me, and I'm hoping I get into the peer mentoring program. I'd love to do that. I know there's a lot of people applying because I went to one of the workshops, but I'm already thinking of what I would teach, like I would help teach the class, like how Tanya does a few activities with us. I was already thinking of what I would do if I was a peer mentor. Like when I went to the workshop, they were mostly freshmen, and they're still, they're not used to the college experience yet. But I scanned the room, and none of them had a notebook out or a piece of paper out to take notes. Like, are you going to memorize everything they say about the peer mentoring program? You have no questions? Okay. So I would, like, well, a few of my ideas were to, like, tell my students to carry a little booklet with you. Like I would probably give them all a one free notebook each, and they would carry this notebook around with them, not just for their classes. Of course, take notes in your classes, like that should be a must already. But any meeting they go to, or anything at work, if they do something at work, get that notebook out and take notes. You're not going to look silly. You're going to, look like you have things together. Take notes. That's really important. Um, and none, I just can't believe none of them had their notebooks out or anything. I mean, just a little post-it to write something like pair application due this day. Nothing. So I'd really like to teach that because I think they would benefit from that. Just a little notebook and take a few notes a day. If you have a meeting at work or something, the freshman class, if they have a job and they have a meeting, if they could write a few notes down during that meeting, and they might change something. Um, it might benefit them somehow. Like if they're at the grocery store, take notes on what you need, and then go to the store. I want to get them into the habit of taking notes. It's so great. Some people think, oh, it's nerdy. I'm not going to take my notebook out. Take notes. If you go to a club meeting, take notes. It doesn't hurt anybody. You know. Um, if you have a class and you have a guest speaker coming to speak, and you're not getting tested on it, take notes. It doesn't matter if you're not getting tested on it. Take notes. So I'd really like to teach that to students if I get the chance to. And the other thing I'd like to do is what you did, um, updating your resume. Okay, so people, oh yeah, I have a resume done, but is it updated? Is it correctly formatted? I mean, I had my jobs in the wrong order from date. Like, those are simple little mistakes that employers could be like, oh, no, we're not taking that person. They can't even make a resume. So, um, I would make the students create a resume. Even if you're not looking for a job at the moment, have an updated resume. It doesn't hurt, just like taking notes. And I'm so glad we did that because I was applying to ambulance programs. And even though they had already asked me to type in all of my employment history and everything, they still wanted a resume. So I was really glad that I already had one updated from our homework assignment. And so I was able to just hit upload. I didn't have to go take separate time from the application to go and make it or, update it. And it was already done. So, especially freshmen, I feel like you need to mold them because their freshman year is where they learn everything, and that's where they start to carry in habits to their sophomore and junior year. So why not start them out with good habits in the beginning, and they'll just keep them until they become seniors, you know? Um, yeah, but I was just looking around and I'm like, nobody's taking notes. And Leah was asking, does anyone have any questions? Nobody asked a question. I'm like, really? You guys know everything about the program? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that mean. But, I mean, they were just really shy. So another thing I would do if I was a peer mentor is I would really, tough love, make them present every day that they came to class. And it wouldn't be like, putting them on the spot. But I feel like if you're I don't know, I'm not trying to sound mean, but if you're around this age, you're 20 and you're going to college, you should be able and comfortable enough to just raise your hand and just say something you think, say an opinion or ask a question. And I know a lot of people feel really shy or someone's going to make fun of them because their question's stupid. But you're in college. You should, be a little more comfortable. Even if you don't know the class that you're in, you don't know any of the students, it's okay. You should be comfortable with raising your hand and asking something or saying something or answering a question. And I was just really like, okay, freshmen, they're shy. They haven't even stepped foot in college yet. But I asked like 5 questions. I was like, look, I have questions. I'm going to ask them. So, um, yeah, I would like to, I would make each student stand in front of the class, not behind their desk or behind the podium where they can hide, and just say, hey, my name is so-and-so. I came from so-and-so high school, and this is what I hope to get at East Bay. Sit down, and there's the next person. And I think each day, having to present just a little bit, maybe 30 seconds, of getting them some time to be in front and being, having everyone's eye on them, I think that'll really build something up in them. Because there's a lot of students, even in my class right now, they're seniors. I had a few seniors in my class, and we had to do a group discussion where we sat in the front of the class, and we were in charge of the chapter for that week. So we would have to start and facilitate a discussion with the whole entire class of like 60 people, and we would have to bring up points and say, what do you guys think about it? We weren't standing, but we were sitting in desks, so I guess some people were comfortable. But a lot of my group, they didn't want large chunks of the chapter because they were afraid of public speaking. Public speaking isn't going anywhere, people. It's going to be in your everyday life, in your future. Whether you're like working at a desk all day and doing data entry or whatever, you're still going to have to, stand up in front of people and speak. Or, if you're working in retail or, working in a restaurant, you're going to have to speak in front of two or three people or something. So why not get comfortable at it now? Um, I don't know. Okay, I'm being mean again, but I think people should just get more practice. And I definitely had practice. I was really one of those people who would hide under my desk and be like, I'm not presenting today. I'll go last. I'll go at the last day. But I had a lot of, in my high school days, a lot of assignments where I had to present and present and present and present. And after a while, I just got used to it. So I think people aren't having these opportunities to do that. They have a lot of projects, or they turn it in, and that's it. They don't have to present it. So I know probably my students will hate me, like, oh, I have to present every day now because of my peer mentor. But I think it's going to help them. Like, they should get used to it. And another thing, in our class, I loved our class. It was so fun. Um, but I sometimes got annoyed that only the same people would respond. And I know some of them were shy, but it wasn't like they had to share personal things. They would just have to answer questions or share their opinions. And it was always like me, Jesus, and Ryan or Brian, and or Jerome too. We'd be the only ones that would like answer. And I'm like, what about you guys? I never hear anything from you guys. So it's kind of hard to, like for me and probably the other guys too, to participate when we just hear our voices all the time. So I really wish we got to know more of our classmates a little bit more. Like I don't know, they just I guess weren't as social. But it's like, come on, like speak up a little bit, make the class more fun. It's everyone participating makes the class fun. Um, and I know Tanya had really good like activities for us, but some people just wouldn't respond or like raise their hand. So it's like we didn't get the full effect of all the activities. So I know it's like you guys put a lot of work into it, into the class, and you guys would take your time to find an activity to go along with what we're learning and something that we can take away from. I can tell you that each activity, I would go home and I'd spend a few minutes thinking about it, and I would actually apply it. Like ever since the beginning of class, you guys say, be active, be active. This class helped me because I was always just like, oh, I just want to go home and do homework. I don't want to, get distracted. I don't want to join a club. I don't want to do this. And I'm actually considering studying abroad. And if you knew me, people would be like, you want to go study abroad? Like, I'm terrified. I would just stay home. I'm a homebody. But I'm actually considering it, and that'd be really fun. So this has changed me for the good, and I've learned my own few things too. So I hope I get to be a peer mentor. I think it'll be really fun. Um, I'll be starting my application soon. And oh my gosh, it's 23 minutes. I told you this is going to be long. Um, and then lastly, you said, what would the rest of your year look like? Um, so, my winter classes are from noon to 10 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I'll be in EMT in Foster City. I don't know my complete schedule yet, but that's something I'll be doing. I'll be volunteering like once a week at the Rhoda Care Clinic, and I'll be working on grad school programs, like applications. Um, I'll be doing the GRE and the WRE, or is it WST? Sorry, the writing skills test. I said WRE. I'll be working on those because those need to be finished. Um, Not looking forward to either of them. Uh, I will be taking summer classes. Spring semester, spring quarter, obviously, and summer quarter. Um, I want to really like take the whole load. I just want to, not that I want to be done fast, but I want to make sure um, I can take as much as I can um, because I want to get started. I want to go on to a nursing program already. And peer mentoring, hopefully, and I guess that'll be taking place in my fall quarter. And I asked Leia, She said that usually people would peer mentor the fall quarter and the spring, but since it looks like next fall I'll be done with all my classes, she says it would be fine that I would just be a peer mentor for fall quarter and that's it. So she said that could work out for me, and I'm hoping that goes well. I may be contacting you about grad school and asking you questions about them. Um, I'm really hoping I get. Um, I want a 4.0. I've never had a 4.0 before. I've came close, but I've never had one. So I'm hoping this quarter I can. I want to graduate. I want to be one of those kids that they call up to the podium like summa cum laude. Like I want to be that person. Like that's one of my goals. So I'm hoping I can get all A's this quarter and the next, so I can get that. And that would look really killer on my applications. So a couple of schools I'm hoping to apply to are Samuel Merritt, um, San Francisco State for their entry-level master's program. Samuel Merritt, I'll apply to their bachelor program. I was looking at Columbia. They have a really good nursing program, and I read that they're like number 7 in the whole um, in nursing programs. But see, that's traveling and living somewhere totally new in a totally new place. Not like me, but if I were to get in, if they sent me a letter tomorrow, I'm gone. I would go. Like you asked that question, would you go halfway across the world, leave your family, leave your boyfriend or girlfriend? Yes, I would. You have a phone, you have this, you can message them and still talk to them and visit. But this is my school. My school's first. So I would definitely go. Um, and I was looking at Johns Hopkins. That sounds like a really far stretch, but Johns Hopkins, they have, I mean, you already know, they have a really good program too. But again, that's somewhere else new, but I would definitely do that. So there's a few schools that I would apply to, and I just hope I get in because this fall applications will be due, and then I wouldn't get in until the next fall. So there would be a year gap, and within that year gap, I would just hope to work, get experience, be that EMT, um, get my name out there, go to the clinic and volunteer, just do a whole bunch of experience and work, work, work. That way, when I finally get into a program, I'll have the funds to do those things because I know they're not going to be cheap, and finally get a start on everything. So this is my last video, and I told you it would be 30 minutes long, and it is. So thank you guys for watching, and I really appreciate you guys, everything you guys have done, and I'm excited for the next class you guys have. They're really going to like you guys, and they're going to enjoy it. So thank you guys, and see you guys around campus.